2 years ago I decided that it was time for something different, and that's led me to come and study. I also work part-time, so that's another thing I need to balance around my family and study, and my husband's a shift worker as well, so that just adds to the dynamic a little bit more. I decided to enrol in the Bachelor of Arts program because I just felt that it offered me more variety and more diversity. So at the end of my degree I will hopefully have a range of options available to me and range of pathways that I can take, including postgraduate studies in specific areas. I felt that that was a little bit of a better way to go than narrowing myself down to a specific discipline, and certainly at my age it helps to have your options open. At the beginning of my course I was very apprehensive about what was going to be ahead of me, and I really wasn't sure how I was going to cope with the demands of university study. It's been a long time since I've been at school or since I've been studying, so trying to find a way to ease myself back into that and to become familiar with the processes was a challenge. I was aware that there was going to be a lot of work involved, and I was certainly very apprehensive about how I was going to balance that around my family and my other responsibilities. The thing I've found though is that there is a tremendous amount of support available. Communication with lecturers is very easy. They're always available via email, or you can phone them if you need to. And just the general presentation of the course, the availability of material via Moodle online makes it so much easier to feel like you're in control of your learning rather than it being the responsibility of someone else to provide that. So those initial nerves and those initial fears that I had were fairly quickly dissolved, because I was able to see that I had the support that I needed and that I had the ability to be in control of my own learning as well. I had tremendous fears of technology. My computer literacy prior to starting university consisted of spider solitaire. That was pretty much as far as I went with things. I could, send the odd email and I could type a letter, but really I was very concerned about how education had evolved since I'd last been involved with it. But in saying that, you really are provided with the tools and the supports to get you up to speed with how things work, and you're never expected to just know how something works, and that has been a big comfort to me as a mature age student. And the fact that I have teenage children that I can always go to and say, what exactly does this mean? CQUniversity is also very good at promoting that help and promoting that support. So as a mature age student, well, I am more inclined to ask for help or clarification when I don't know something. The university certainly doesn't hide that information. They're very proactive in getting that message out that help is available, and there's always someone to turn to, so that's very good. Time management is a constant battle as a student. You do have competing demands, and for me, my family will always be my priority, so I know that I need to fit my study and my part-time work around them as best as I can. And I have to say that that's worked quite well for me to this point in time because of the flexibility of study at CQUniversity. I can I am an internal student, I can also take courses by flex, so that allows me to be at school parades when I need to be there, or at school sports days and things like that, without having to worry about missing out on lectures because they're available on ISL later on. It is difficult at times though, and there are many times where I have had to watch the ironing pile grow over days while I've been completing assignments. What you do learn though is to ask for help when you need it, and you learn to share the burden. So there is nothing wrong with asking your children to do jobs around the house, and there's nothing wrong with asking Grandma and Grandpa to come and take the kids for the day so that you can finish an assignment. So you do learn to negotiate. You do learn to cooperate with other people to get things done, but time management is always something that you need to be aware of, and you need to be organised. I think that's the big thing. You don't ever leave anything to the last minute when you're trying to juggle all of those responsibilities. Yeah, look, it's really important to have those downtimes, because really I find having those relaxing times is what enables me to go on to the next piece of assessment, or enables me to keep getting through the term. For me, a lot of my leisure time is based around my children and their activities. They're very heavily involved in sport and music and other pursuits. So I make a point of going along and being there to enjoy those with them and to participate in those with them. And that definitely helps keeping me feeling normal, and it reinforces to me the priority of my family, and actually helps to spur me on with my study as well. I've learnt that study does require discipline. I've learnt that study is my responsibility, not anyone else's. So if I want to be successful, it doesn't matter how good the delivery of the material is by the lecturer in front of me. It doesn't matter how good the library is. What matters is how I choose to use that. And so it's very important to take self-ownership of my study. After all, I'm doing it for me. Well, it will benefit my family, and well, it will benefit others around me, I hope. The bottom line is that it's for me, and it's what I want to get out of it. So self-discipline is a very big part of that. I actually find the online handbook very easy to use, and it really steps you through, and the availability of course profiles online makes it a lot easier in deciding whether the course that you are choosing is actually appropriate to advance your studies, because the course profile can change from year to year, from term to term, depending on availability of the course or if changes have been made to assessment. So it's definitely important to keep an eye on what's going on, and you may find that a course that you initially thought was going to be appropriate, when you look further into it, actually isn't what you were after, or doesn't suit your study schedule at that particular point in time. Look, referencing, I think, is every first year student's nightmare when they start out, especially the fact that there are so many different referencing styles. Just in my first term, I have to use both Harvard referencing and Turabian, and I didn't even know that Turabian referencing existed before this year. In saying that though, referencing guides are available online, and the Academic Learning Centre is brilliant for supporting you through how you use those referencing systems. So yeah, they're certainly intimidating to start with, but the help is available there to help get you through. And after a bit of practice, you do start to fall into the way of using them. I just find this campus very comfortable. Everything is within reach, everyone is within reach. The ability to have a quiet moment sitting in the courtyard in the beautiful sunshine, you know, just to relax and gather your thoughts before you go to class, or you know, before you tackle that next session in the library. The library, which itself is beautifully set out and has every resource you could imagine, And then just the availability of lecturers. You know, you can be sitting down at the refectory having a coffee, and next thing your lecturer walks in and they sit down beside you and you have a lovely relaxed chat about what's going on. And yeah, it's just a beautiful feel to the campus. I have looked at the website and it is very comprehensive. It's wonderful. I think the thing is that every student is an individual, and it's not always possible to cater to everyone. I think the website goes pretty close though, because it really does cover all of those major points, and it really does point you in the direction of everything that you need. So it has been a good resource for me in starting my journey.